Oh, what up, Jay, man?
What's up, man?
Ain't nothing, man. Good to see you. We in a different spot from where we were the last time we talked.
I know, man. It's totally different, but it's all good. We're making it work.
Yes, sir. Last time we talked, man, you had just come over from Jayville, and you were with a new team. You were excited about a new experience, and you fast forward to now, highest paid cornerback in the game, which you deserve. I mean, I don't think that should have been a no-brainer for the Rams. But we look at this season, and you've been used all over the field, in the slot, on the outside, blitzing, zone, man-to-man. And last week, you had probably the toughest cover in football for DBs right now, and DK Metcalf. What was your mindset going into that, and how do you feel that all played out for you?
Yeah, man, I take pride in whoever's our opponent's biggest weapon, especially if it's a receiver, or if it's a receiving threat, to try to take him away and clear up opportunities for other guys to make big plays. So I take a lot of pride in that. I work extremely hard through the week, just with my preparation and with grinding. And, yeah, man, that was my task for last week, and I felt like I went out there. I remained focused for the most part, and I did what I had to do, held my assignment down and opened up opportunities for other guys to be able to make big plays. And just me knowing them, they were going to make them plays. And that's exactly what happened, and that's what they did. So we had a good defensive game, and we had a good team win, honestly.
Yeah, and so when you have a matchup like that, and it's the go-to guy, it's the number one, but, let's be real, bro. You are so physically gifted. It ain't a lot of times you standing across from other people, and you like, hold on, this dude could run like me. This dude big, you know what I'm saying? So what was that like in preparation for understanding the physical type of matchup you got with DK?
Yeah, man, for me, a lot of stuff mindset. So I had to get my mind right, because just like you said, he everything, like physically, big, fast, strong. He got it all, you know what I mean? And his jump and the way that he's playing from his rookie year last year to this year is crazy. You can't not respect it. Like, it's undeniable, you know what I mean? So it was mental for me, man. Mentally getting myself focused, getting my mind right to go out there and be on my A game. And knowing that, even in my preparation, like, all right, if something don't go right during the game, boom, bounce back. Stay right, stay focused, get it in. Not going into the game thinking, something negative was going to happen, because I don't think like that personally. I think I'm going to dominate whoever I go against. That's just the mindset I go in with. But just being realistic, there's no corner who hasn't been beat. There's not a defensive back who hasn't been beat. Things happen during the game. NFL players get paid too, just like I do.
Awesome, man. So you mentioned your mindset, but you also mentioned dudes around you making plays because you do your job. I mean, you look at Darius, he's balled this year. Troy, obviously, JJ, being a leader on the back end. You got Jay Full. And so you have all those pieces. Obviously, you have you, and now it's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and it's Mike Evans, it's AB, it's Gronk, Godwin. I mean, Scotty Miller. They got players all over the field. So coming into that game, how do you feel you have to play? How will you be used? And how do you stop these dudes as a whole?
Yeah, probably the most talented receiving core that we played this far this year. And we played some guys, but they just got more guys, if I'm being real about it. They got a few number one receivers, and then, some number two receivers who could be number one in other places. So, yeah, I take a lot of pride in leading, by what I do and how I hold myself accountable and how I hold my side of the field or my responsibility down. So I might have, a couple different tasks during the game, just because they got multiple number ones. It might not be a week where I'm solely on just one guy, kind of like I was solely on Metcalf for the majority of the game. I might have to cover a few of their number one guys and hold them down in certain situations and certain instances. And that's going to be totally different because they all got different talents, different body frames. Like Mike, big guy. AB, smaller guy, but he's got the speed, got the routes, got it all. You got Godwin, who can crisp routes in and out. Then they got other guys who can come in and do their thing as well. Then you got Gronk. Then you know what I mean? You got the GOAT. You got the GOAT throwing them the ball. So I'm going to have to be on my game more than ever this week, and I'm going to take a lot of pride in that once again.
Right, and that's important. And so you look at the stretch for y'all now. Seattle gets the win against Arizona. They have 4. They got NFC East and the Jets. You know, when you feel like you got those teams, those are games you can win. You guys are probably the most complete team in the NFC West. So how important is this game against Tampa Bay now?
It's important. It's a big NFC showdown. Super important, in my opinion. I believe this is a game. It's a statement game. You know, we got to. For them, I'm sure they thinking the same thing. They lost to the Saints. That's a team in their division. So they thinking, man, even though we lost to them, we still a top dog in the NFC, and we thinking the same thing. You know, and on top of that, we trying to be the top dogs in our division and in the conference. Right. So it's a big game. It's a real big game. I think it's a statement game for both teams.
You've had a little fun this year, man, and you know, when you become a superstar like you are, and you are in LA, sometimes people like Jimmy Fallon get to calling, and you had to fit in a phrase in your post-game press conference, throw sauce at your boss. How'd that all start, and how hard was it to actually get that in? And what the hell does it mean?
I don't even know what it means. But I know he has a segment on his show called Drop It In, and he's done it with NBA players. He's done it with MLB players. He's done it with everybody, like superstars across sports leagues. And what he does, he gets them to drop a funny phrase or a corny phrase or whatever type of phrase it is into a regular press conference. And the media doesn't know. Nobody knows but us. So after looking at a bunch of the clips, and I'm a fan of his show, I knew immediately what it was. So, I had my agent come to me with this opportunity, and I'm like, yeah, what's my phrase, or what's a couple phrases? So they gave me about 4 phrases to pick from, and as I was sitting there thinking, I picked the shortest phrase, to be honest with you, because I thought I was gonna forget. So I picked the shortest phrase, and we got in there, and the whole time it was kind of hard to concentrate on what I really was supposed to be talking about in media, because the whole time I'm thinking about, man, what's the phrase? What's the phrase? I gotta fit the phrase in. When can I fit this phrase in? So it was at some point where I guess she was asking me about, maybe playing a little nickel this year, moving around, and I was like, that's the one. In my head, I'm like, that's the one. I'm like, yeah, I talk to Coach about it. Sometimes I gotta throw the sauce at my boss, man. Right. And she was like, huh? I was like, yeah, sometimes I got to throw the sauce at my boss and let him know that I want to play around. Yeah, so it was cool. It was cool little fun little segment.
Yeah, man, that gives you a chance to kind of break away from the norm. But I'm thinking about the fact that AB plays for Tampa Bay now. You guys had an epic matchup when you were in Jayville. He was in Pittsburgh. But I remember, bro, there was a catch in that game that was the best catch made by a defender, offensive player, anybody, right? It's a you got Moss, kind of catch. But I'm the DB guy at ESPN, and obviously, Randy a Hall of Famer, so he got more clout than me. And they always talk about, you got Moss, and it's always us on the end of getting Moss and wide receivers getting the love. So how do you feel when you watch those things and you going against the big receivers and you making those plays? Like, when we gonna get that love?
Man, all week, man, every time I got to play against AB, I knew it was a big matchup, obviously. Probably gonna be a Hall of Famer in my opinion. One of the best receivers I done played, probably top 3. And just that came from me being prepared and my film study. I knew him and Ben. I knew Ben was going to him when they got to the red zone. I knew, when he lined up certain splits, I knew what he was going to do. I had to play to my advantages. I know he had some advantages on me, but I had some advantages on him during that game, and I wanted to be super physical at the line and, do my thing. So he ran like a little post route today. I ran in the previous weeks, and him and Ben had continued to connect on it. I kept picking it up on film. I'm like, yo, they connected on this little post route in the red zone almost weekly, and he had touchdowns at that point. And he lined up, and I'm like, man, I know it's coming. As soon as he gave me the inside stem, got real physical with my press, got on him, and I got my eyes immediately to Ben, and I saw Ben looking at him. And at that point, I was like, man, I got to make a play. I got to make a play for the team. It was a close game, so I was locked in that game because, to be honest, also that game, a lot of people don't realize that game had just came after probably one of my worst games in my NFL career against the Indianapolis Colts, who was a division opponent at the time when I was in Jacksonville. I had probably one of my worst games. I had a couple mental errors and blown assignments. And like trade rumors that came out that week, I don't know if people remember that, but trade rumors that came out that week, like right before the game. So I was tuned in, I was locked in, had my ski mask on, everything. And that was my first career 2-pick game, so I was locked in that game, needless to say. And it was just time for me to make a play. It was time for me to step up and be who I am.
Yeah, what's so crazy is when they were asking me about that play, they were talking about you got mossed and all those things. I said, well, what's happened in today's football, I said when coaches see somebody like Jalen, that tall, that fast, ball skills, they put him on offense all the time. Right? Like you play running back younger and stuff, but and it's usually, at least I feel, it's a mentality, right? And you talked about your mentality early, the way you lock in, the physicality you play with, and shoot, let's be honest, we're on TV, but it's about being a dog, right? Period. And so you look at y'all defense, you got AD, probably the two of this generation, the two greatest talents playing those positions. And so we obviously know what y'all dudes could do physically, but how do y'all go about leading this defense and getting it to a point to where this defense is the reason this team is in the hunt for the NFC West?
100%. We take a lot of pride in that. Man, AD probably don't even notice because AD come in, he grind, he do his job, he lead the D-line. But he kind of, at times, AD can be silent, just a silent assassin and just out there doing his thing. And we see him. But he the same way when he come in the facility, the way he grind, the way he work out, the way he do things. It's honestly motivated me since I've been here. When I got here, I see the way AD work. I'm like, whoa, I thought I was doing something. Let me take it to another level. Like this Hall of Fame, let me take it to another level. And the way I've been able to take it to another level just by following his lead, but I'm a little bit more vocal than him, so I take it to another level, and then I bring it to the back end, and I'm leading the back seven. And then I got JJ who riding with me. I got all of them who riding with me. Like, they like, all right, if that's what we doing, that's what we doing. You doing extra? We doing extra. Like, right. and we clicked, man. We got a good chemistry, and we take a lot of pride in, we still believe in defense wins championships. Obviously, we feel like it's an offensive game now, and these offenses putting up crazy numbers, and you got talent in the league. But we still feel like defense is going to win this. Defense wins championships. And we still got that mindset, and that's the way we want to lead this team. We know our head coach, our offensive guru, and, we got gurus on the offensive side, but on the defensive side of the ball, we like, hey, we got dogs over here. It ain't, and we want people to know, like, yeah, me and AD going to do our thing, but we got some other people around us who following suit and can do it too.
With your defense being where it is, I feel like you brought some of that fire that Jayville had the year y'all went to the AFC Championship. Talk a little bit about where you were when you left Jayville, just and how you felt about football, how you felt about how you were being treated, your happiness level as to where it is now. Because I see it in your play, but I also see it in your personality, in your attitude, in your leadership.
Yeah, man, things there didn't end, how I thought they were gonna end. I'm forever grateful that they're the team who drafted me, and I got to spend years there with some guys who will forever be my dogs, forever be my friends. I talk to a lot of them still to this day. You know what I mean? AJ, T. Gibb, Church, Ronnie, Leonard, a lot of guys who not there anymore. But man, we had a good bond. We had a good bond, man, and things just went south real quick, just with how things were handled over there, and how guys were treated, and a lot of things that have since then come to light.
Right,
but at the time, everybody always thought it was us, or a few of us, or me, or whatever the case may have been, and it was never like that. So we were kind of in a bad spot when coming to my ending days in Jacksonville, and then I got here, and it was kind of a new start, and it was none of that, kind of BS that was going on in Jacksonville going on here. So I got to be my true self. Everybody embraced it, and everybody figured out, like, whoa, this ain't even what, the media said it was about. And when he was in Jacksonville, it's something totally different. And so, honestly, I'm just being myself. And the way I'm portrayed and the way that people are understanding, it's like, whoa, this ain't even what it was. You know what I mean? So this dude cares about winning. This dude's passion and heart is unmatched. He bringing his teammates along. Him and his teammates click. Like, this is what was going on, that year in Jacksonville. We had a lot of success. This was the same stuff going on. But, a lot comes with the territory of, kind of being a leader and kind of being a top dog in certain instances. So when things go bad, certain guys were looked at as it must be them, even if it wasn't. But, man, it's all good. I honestly, I'm grateful for it all. It's all a part of my journey, and it all helped me grow as a man, as a teammate, a football player. So I've learned from all of it, and it's just helped me in my experiences here.
I want to talk a little bit about your physicality, right? I think back to your first game with the Rams. It's against Atlanta.
Yeah.
Right? Freeman comes around. You smash him. You go early on this year. Amari Cooper, obviously Golden Tate, other stuff that goes along with that. But just watching your physicality, and I talk about it all the time. I said, if you're going to be a big corner, if you're going to be labeled that way, if you're going to be called that, this is what it looks like. Finishing plays the way that Jalen Ramsey finishes plays. Is that something that you're going to need to do against Tampa Bay to let them know, hey, it's not about this. It's not basketball on grass. It's not the GOAT's going to throw it around all day. This is the type of football we are going to play.
100%. 100%. I pride myself on setting the tempo, and sometimes I don't get those opportunities in the passing game. So when I get a chance to deliver the boom, I seek it, to be honest with you. I don't absorb it. I go deliver the blow. I like that. It's football. Football is a fierce game, a violent game, and I want to keep it that way within the rules. You know what I mean? The rules have changed so much, but if I get my opportunities, I'm gonna take them. I ain't shying away from nobody. As we used to say, I ain't dodging no wreck. You know what I mean? Right. Whatever it is, I'm all for it. So, yeah, I feel like I always have to make a play like that potentially, especially if I'm not getting attacked in the passing game or not getting those ops in the passing game. I want to be able to make a effect on the game somewhere else, and sometimes that's it.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.